back to my channel. My name is Hope Taylor and I am a photographer and business coach serving both Charleston and Savannah. And this YouTube channel is where I share education for entrepreneurs as well as a little bit of a peek into my life living in the Low Country. And we're talking today about something I've never talked about on my YouTube channel. We've been doing YouTube for like 2 years now and I have never talked about this topic despite how many questions I've gotten about it. And I'm really excited to change that today and talk about adding education into your service-based business. So if you haven't been following me on Instagram for a long time, if you don't know this about me, or maybe you're just watching this video for the first time, this is the first time you're hearing of me, I began my business 9 years ago as a photographer when I was 16 years old, which is crazy. And now after 9 years as a photographer, educating other photographers actually makes up the majority of my income. So I started with doing one-on-one mentoring, which evolved into workshops, which evolved into online courses and hosting a mastermind and now a membership. And I am incredibly passionate about helping other business owners grow as well as strategy. I love business strategy. I love digital marketing. I love email marketing. I love all of it. And it's something that I'm incredibly passionate about, but don't talk about a lot. And I want to change that. I want this YouTube channel to start being a resource for photographers as well as a resource for service-based business owners wanting to scale their business into education and other digital marketing resources. So today I want to talk specifically about adding one-on-one mentorship into your service-based business because, like I mentioned, when I started educating other photographers, which I always knew I wanted to do, I always knew I didn't want to gatekeep the mistakes I was making and the lessons that I was learning and the strategies that were helping me grow. I always wanted to be a part of the community over competition movement by helping other business owners come alongside me and build their businesses. And so mentorship was the way that this got started for me. And I fully believe that one-on-one interactions as an educator are what build the foundation for your ability to create more income and more freedom in your business through offering other educational offers in your business. But in order to do that, you have to start with one-on-one interactions. So I started by doing this with essentially paid coffee dates where people would pay me an hourly rate to sit down with them and answer anything they wanted to ask me about building a business, about bettering their images, about scaling, about social media, about marketing. They could ask me anything they wanted to, and they paid me an hourly rate to do that. That scaled into more structured mentoring packages where I had a 2-hour offer and a 4-hour offer, and that scaled into in-person workshops, and that's how the ball got rolling. But today, I want to give you 3 strategies specifically to add one-on-one coaching or mentoring into your service-based business, because I think that becoming an educator and sharing your content and empowering other people through community over competition has become an incredibly popular topic and something that a lot of people are passionate about, but they just don't know how to do. So let's dive into those 3 strategies. Number 1 is going to feel very simple. The most important part of moving into education is to show people that you are willing to help. That is step number 1 before anything else. In order for people to know that you are willing to answer their questions and educate them on photography and on business, you have to show them that you're willing to answer their questions. And here's what I mean by that. When I was getting started and I knew that I wanted to do education, I had a blog series on my blog called Ask HTP. And essentially, HTP stands for Hope Taylor Photography. And anytime I got a question in my email, in my text messages, in my Instagram DMs, it could have been the tiniest question like, hey Hope, where was this location that you just shot at? Or hey Hope, how did you edit that photo? How did you set your camera settings for this picture? I would take that question and instead of answering them directly, I would turn it into a blog post. So every single week I was posting new blog posts on my blog answering people's questions. And 1, that added value to people, right? It showed people that I knew what I was talking about. But 2, it showed other people that I was willing to answer their questions, which opened the door to them feeling like they could DM me to ask questions, which opened the door to more blog posts, which opened the door to more people wanting to learn from me. And that's how it escalated into my ability to offer one-on-one mentoring. So a few practical ways to do this in 2022, because I was doing this in 2014, but a few practical ways to do it now. If you get an Instagram DM from somebody asking a question, screenshot that DM and post it on your Instagram stories and answer it there. Show that you are publicly willing to answer questions and show that you're looking at your DMs. There are so many business owners and influencers that don't even look at their own DMs or answer their own DMs, and they might even have somebody else do it for them. So even just showing that you actually read your own DMs and screenshotting that message and sharing it opens the door for other people to feel comfortable messaging you to ask questions. You can also do Reels and TikToks, educating other photographers. If you get a question in your inbox, answer it in a Reel or in a TikTok, and that will get the ball rolling on other people seeing your education, because that's the fastest way to get in front of new people on Instagram right now. You can also just have one-on-one conversations with people. I think we've almost, in this fast-paced digital marketing world, we've lost the power of one-on-one interaction and in providing an incredible experience for one person. We're so focused on reaching the masses and getting in front of as many people as possible and creating viral-worthy content that we've lost sight of how incredibly powerful one amazing interaction with one customer can grow our business and start the ball rolling of word-of-mouth marketing that can grow you more than anything else. So if you have somebody DM you and ask to get coffee with you, go get coffee with them, answer their questions, and you will start to also learn what you're passionate teaching about, what your style of teaching is, what you teach that creates light bulb moments, and the people that you're teaching. Just get out there and show other people that you are willing to help. Tip number 2 is to focus on one person at a time. And I know that I am kind of contradicting myself, and I mentioned this a little bit, but when I say focus on one person at a time, I mean try to separate yourself from the big picture of what you want education in your business to look like long term. And what I mean by that is we see so many people in the photography space right now, and just in the small business world in general, that are educating on something incredibly specific. They have a lineup of incredible products surrounding their unique niche, and they're crushing it in the passive income space or in the education space. So because we see that end goal, we're always trying to think in terms of the end goal, right? So you're trying to think, okay, but what is my niche? Like, what specific thing do I want to teach on? In order to teach it all, I need to know what this one specific niche is going to be. And I would say that you're doing yourself a disservice by only thinking through the vein of the big picture. Because when I was doing this in 2014, I didn't know the big picture yet. I didn't even know what the possibilities were. So I wasn't thinking about these one-on-one mentoring sessions as a stepping stone to get to the place that I am now. I was just thinking about it as a one-on-one interaction of how can I truly help this one person and serve them as much as humanly possible. And because I took away almost the pressure of the big picture and figuring out exactly what my niche was and exactly what my product lineup was going to be, I was able to, one, provide a better experience for that person that allowed them to create word of mouth marketing around my business and my mentoring more than it would have if I was trying to niche down and think long term. But two, it also allowed me to figure out what my teaching style was and what I actually wanted to teach about. Because maybe I was at a one-on-one mentoring session and somebody asked me about finances, and I was able to answer their questions, but I wasn't super confident in the way that I was answering them, or I just didn't love talking about them. It didn't fire me up to talk about them. Now I know, okay, maybe I don't want to teach on finances and my products down the road. And then maybe I'm teaching on senior posing, which is something that maybe nobody had ever asked me about. And for some reason, that just fires me up. And I feel like it's rolling off my tongue. I'm seeing light bulb moments in the person that I'm teaching. And now I've learned that that's something that I could really see myself teaching more of. But if I hadn't gone through that process of refining that by having these incredible one-on-one interactions with photographers, I wouldn't be where I am now. So remove the pressure of the big picture and of the future and focus on serving one person at a time, whatever that looks like and whatever they need. Tip number 3 is once you've talked to a few people one-on-one, once you've gone on a few coffee dates, you've refined a little bit of what this mentorship structure looks like, form an actual service or product offering around that mentorship. So I didn't start out with a structured package for my mentoring. It started with coffee dates. It started with just genuine conversations. And after a few months of that, I refined those situations. I looked back and I was like, okay, what was the most beneficial? How much time did I actually need to answer these people's questions? Did there need to be a hands-on element? What could I do ahead of time to help people feel more prepared? And what should I charge for this service? After a few months of asking myself those questions and refining that process, I put together an actual service package for my mentorship with one set price, and it had a complete client experience for itself. So there was a questionnaire before the session, there was a follow-up process after the session, there was a contract for the session, there was an entire client experience built around my mentorship offer, and then start marketing that as an offering. Don't feel like you have to start there, but let yourself refine that process and get to a point where you create an actual package, you add it to your website, and you create scarcity and exclusivity around the fact that maybe you only offer it once or twice a month to get the ball rolling, but now there's structure around it. You've kind of worked your way up, you've built your reputation, you've gotten word of mouth marketing rolling, and now you have a product or service that you're excited to sell. So those are my 3 tips for getting started in the education space. This is something I want to start talking way more about on this YouTube channel. So let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I typically don't ask people to comment, but I would truly love to hear, what else would you like to know about becoming an educator in the photography space or in any creative space? What do you want to know about digital marketing? What kind of questions has this conversation sparked for you? And how can I help? Because I'm really excited to create more content for you surrounding these topics. And I'm trying really hard to hit 10,000 subscribers this year. I post a new video every single Monday and would be so grateful to have you subscribe. And until then, I will see y'all next week. Bye, y'all.